uncouple the tiles and prevent cracking. I'm going to mix this on the high end. And today I'm going to use this uncoupling membrane by Mapei. It's called Mapegard UM. Like all uncoupling membranes, it has empty spaces. Let me see if I can find here. It has empty spaces between the waffles here, or the boys, or whatever you want to call these, so that it can deform and uncouple the tile from the floor and prevent cracking. It has a kind of like a mesh welded, heat welded to the top of the plastic, and that's what holds the tile to the membrane. This is actually really well bonded. It's heat welded, so it's not going to come off very easily. When you're going over plywood, use a modified Thinset the membrane to a plywood floor, and then they actually recommend a modified Thinset to install your tile on top. And this one is actually waterproof. It doesn't have any holes in it. So if you put between the seams, if you put a band over it, you can actually make this completely waterproof. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Mapei Ultraflex 2 to install the membrane to the plywood floor, and then I'm going to use, because the tiles going on here is a 12 by 24 tile, I'm going to use Mapei LFT to install a tile to the membrane. So what I usually do is I cut the whole thing in, and then once it's cut in, I cement it down. So you can use a utility knife with a sharp blade or a pair of shears. Size of the trowel, 1/4 by 3/16 V-notch, or a 1/4 by 1/4 by 1/4 square notch trowel, and that's one I'm going to use. Okay, so when you're installing this, you want to leave, you don't want to cut it tight to the wall. You want to leave like a 1/4 inch gap. Don't cut it tight to the wall, so that it can, expand and contract. And then that's true for even every tile installation that you do. You need to always leave room for expansion and contraction. Okay, so I'm going to use Ultraflex 2, Mapei Ultraflex 2, which is suitable for plywood. See these numbers here, A11 8.4 and A118 8.11. The A11 8.4 means it's polymer modified. It tells you right there, polymer. And the A11 8.11 means it's good for plywood. If you're ever installing tile on plywood, make sure you get a 0.11. You'll say it on the bag somewhere, but just be sure. This is, I'm going to be using the LFT, upside down here, the LFT, Ultraflex LFT, because this is going to be a 12 by 24 inch tile, so that's a large full net tile. Thinset, that's also a same 118 118.11, 118.4, and so this is what I'm going to be using for my Thinset. Mapegard UM is a Mapei product, so you should use Mapei Thinsets. Get the full warranty. You can use another Thinset, but why would you do that? So when I mix this, I'm going to be using my mixing drill. I'm going to measure the water, and I'm going to go on the high end of the water measurement. We're going to mix this according to the directions, which is you add the water to the bucket, then you add 5 to 6 quarts of water. You mix it for 5 minutes, let it stand for, I think it's 10 minutes, let it slake for 10 minutes, and mix it again for 2 minutes. Now this is actually very important to do. And I'm going to mix this on the high end of the water ratio because it says 5 to 6 quarts. I'm going to put actually 6 quarts in because I want it to be a little wetter, but still able to hold a notch. So it transfers well, the fabric, the fleece on the back of the mat. So add the water, add the powder, mix for 5 minutes, let it slake for 10 minutes, and then mix for another 2 minutes, and then I'll start spreading. And when I spread this, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to dampen the floor. I'm going to go over it with a damp sponge. What that does is it removes any residual dust. Actually, I vacuum this whole floor before I cut this in, so the floor is clean. So I'm gonna, just before I spread the Thinset, I'm gonna dampen it with a sponge, and then when I spread my Thinset, I'm gonna do the Thinset with a 1/4 inch square notch trowel, and then I'm going to back trowel it, with the flat side of the trowel to key the mortar in, flip it over, notch the Thinset. I'm gonna use my roller to roll it in. If you don't have a roller, I have it, so I'm going to use it. You can use the flat side of a trowel, or you can use a wooden trowel or a rubber trowel. You just want to make sure you push it in. Measure the water, 6 quarts. Okay, so I'm going to roll this part back. I'm only going to do like a half at a time. About that. That removes the dust and gives it a drink. Key it in. Now push it in. You can use flat side of the trowel. trowel. I use my roller. Okay, check for coverage. That's good transfer. Good coverage. Okay, so it's all installed. We'll cement it down. So now I can start tiling if I want. So that's it. Time for lunch.